What is the biggest draft strategy your team needs to avoid this offseason? Stay tuned. What's up, NFL fans? Cover 2 Chris, your football know-it-all, back with another take on the world of the NFL as I see it. Before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the little bell next to it so that you are alerted anytime a new video drops on the channel. I would love to know your draft needs for your favorite teams, so please let me know down in the comments, and also stay tuned for this entire video because at the end, I'm going to share with you the #1 fantasy football draft strategy that is almost assuring owners a deep playoff run. So here we go. There are many traditions that are practiced without ever asking, why are we doing this? And we may do it because of family pressure or wanting to break away from the pack and venture out on our own. But thinking for yourself and drawing your own conclusions is a valuable skill that once put to practice can make you a leader rather than a follower stuck in mediocrity. Well, what does that have to do with the NFL draft? Easy. There are many long-standing customs or beliefs that have been adopted without question over the years when it comes to drafting running backs. But the philosophy has not been updated with the times. In recent years, the NFL has seen a drastic shift from the 3 yards and a cloud of dust Woody Hayes offense to a high-flying quarterback-driven league. As a result, the need for running backs has tremendously diminished. Over the course of years, ideologies and traditions are cyclical, but the stage of the cycle that we find ourselves in today is one that clearly states that one of the biggest mistakes your favorite team can make is drafting a running back with their first-round pick in this NFL draft. The NFL draft class includes a myriad of talented running backs like Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, and Joe Mixon, assuming he keeps his hands to himself. And not to forget one of the greatest running back prospects is Adrian Peterson and LSU standout Leonard Fournette. However, not to diminish the fact that these guys can end up being good or even great NFL players, statistics over the past decade has proven that taking a running back with your first round pick is the quickest way to fail at the ultimate goal, which is winning a Super Bowl championship. So let's dive in. Why your team should not draft a running back in the first round. Would you invest your hard-earned cash into a long-standing and stable mutual fund or a penny stock? Sounds obvious, but many NFL teams make the same mistake every year. The average NFL career for a running back is less than 3 years, and rightfully so because the position takes a beating nearly every offensive down. Since 2007, there has been 19 running backs taken in the first round. Some names that come to mind are Beanie Wells, Felix Jones, Knowshon Moreno, CJ Spiller, Trent Richardson, just to name a few. They have all averaged less than 900 yards per year from scrimmage. Of those 19, 7 of them have had a rushing season of more than 1,000 yards. And here's a jarring stat that really drives the point home. 11 of the 19 at the time of this recording are not even in the league right now. And of the surviving 8, 3 of them have been in the league less than the average shelf life of a running back, which is less than 3 years. So for the sake of this argument, if we were to exclude the 3, that is 11 of 16, or about 30% of those running backs that actually survived longer than 3 seasons. A team's investment of a first-round pick has got to net you a better return than a 30% chance of hitting a home run. This isn't baseball where getting a hit 3 out of every 10 times makes you a Hall of Famer. You have to hit more times than not if you want to be a successful team in the NFL. Just think of some of the running backs that have won Super Bowls in the past 10 years. LeGarrette Blount twice with the Patriots, C.J. Anderson with the Broncos, Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs with the Giants, James Starks with the Packers, Willie Parker with the Steelers, Marshawn Lynch with the Seahawks. Now get this, none, and I mean none of these players were either drafted or acquired by the team that they won with for anything more than a 4th round pick. Think about that. Nothing more than a 4th round pick was required to get these players on their Super Bowl winning teams. To make it even more interesting, 4 of the 10 winners of the big game over the last decade were undrafted, not even worth a pick at the time that they were eligible for the draft. The path to the Lombardi has officially shifted to a league where running backs, especially first round ones, are inconsequential. To further prove the point, in 2013 and 2014, the league started to figure out that running backs are statistically a wasted first-round draft pick. In both of these drafts, not one running back was taken in the first round, but the talent that was taken in later rounds includes the likes of Jeremy Hill, Giovanni Bernard, Le'Veon Bell, Christine Michael, Carlos Hyde, Latavius Murray, Spencer Ware, Alfred Blue, James White, Devontae Freeman, Terrence West, and the list goes on. There is running back talent out there, but it's not in the first round. In fact, in the first 5 drafts combined, only 3 running backs have been taken in the first 14 picks, which shows that teams are getting the memo when it comes to the terrible return on investment when it comes to drafting running backs early in this past happy NFL league. I know, the elephant in the room is screaming at the top of his lungs about players like Todd Gurley and Ezekiel Elliott, and they are very good players. They've actually kind of revitalized the notion that first-round running backs are worth the investment, but the truth is, they are not. Gurley has come back to earth somewhat after teams have kind of figured out how to defend him, and Elliott is playing behind the best offensive line in football, so using them as arguments to bring back running backs don't hold water. It is quite possible that until this offensive climate on the football field shifts again, we may have seen the very last of 1 or even 2 running back prospects being drafted in the first round, where in years past, 5 to 7 running backs were being taken routinely in the first round. Running back is just too volatile a position. It is often the most injury-prone position on the field, and at some point in every running back's career, they're going to need some type of surgery to repair something, which means time away from the game. Even the all-time greats have to deal with constant injury. Adrian Peterson has had to deal with collarbone, knee, hamstring, back, ankle, foot, calf, shoulder, abdomen, and groin injuries. Peterson, by all accounts, is a bona fide freak of nature. But if the back that you've had your eye on isn't as resilient as an Adrian Peterson, don't even look his way come draft day. Simply put, the biggest mistake your favorite team can make is drafting a running back in the first round. They are not worth it in real life or in fantasy. Now, for what I promised you at the beginning of the video. The #1 fantasy draft strategy that is taking fantasy leagues by storm is called the zero running back draft strategy. The ideology of avoiding backs in the real NFL draft is beginning to filter into fantasy sports as well. The zero running back draft strategy is a draft strategy that basically states not to draft a running back at all, and to strategically play the waiver wire all season to fill the position. It takes a little bit of in-season management, but it gives you a great advantage over owners when you don't have to worry about filling a running back position during the live draft. This strategy has been making the rounds the last few seasons and have paid off for fantasy owners. I've personally used this strategy the last 2 seasons and made deep playoff runs each time. So definitely give it a try and be sure to let me know how it turns out in the comments. If you liked the video, be sure to smash that like button. If you think it sucked, you know what to do. But regardless, let me know how right or how wrong I am in the comments below. I always love a debate. New videos will be dropped every Thursday, so be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so that YouTube will let you know when a new video is dropped on the channel. I am Cover 2 Chris, and I'm out.